what screams I have a crush on you. Story 1. If they laugh at everything you say, there's a good chance they're crushing on you. Opinion. That is a classic sign. If someone laughs at everything you say, even the small stuff, it often means they're really into you. It's a way of showing that they're attentive and enjoying your company, possibly because they have a crush. Story 2. You stay up talking to them multiple nights in a row and mess up your entire sleep schedule. Source. I'm going through it right now. Opinion. If you're staying up late talking to them and it's messing up your sleep, it shows just how much they mean to you. It's clear you're really interested and their presence is something you deeply cherish. Story 3. I knew a former coworker was into me because of how much extra attention I got from her. Everyone in general was nice, but she was extra nice. She would bring me snacks, eventually started giving me small presents, and would tell me to go on my break even if I already knew it was time. I knew she trusted me when she gave me her laptop to take home for a few days so I could learn to use it and then teach her. Besides that, her actually asking me and being curious about what I would really like for Christmas also helped in letting me know she cared. I did a lot of things that should have let her know I cared and liked her, but I guess I should have done more. Opinion. It sounds like she was really going out of her way to show you how much she cared, from the extra attention and thoughtful gifts to trusting you with her laptop. It's clear she had strong feelings for you. Sometimes, actions speak louder than words, and her efforts definitely showed she was into you. Story 4. Benign insults and picking on each other, but never admitting a compliment for fear it would be misconstrued as creepy or giving away the crush. Opinion. When you're tossing around benign insults and teasing each other but steering clear of direct compliments, it's often a sign of a hidden crush. The playful jabs can be a way to mask deeper feelings, while avoiding overt praise keeps things light and avoids revealing too much. Story 5. Boy. How are you? Girl. I'm good, how are you? Boy. I'm good, how are you? Opinion. If you're stuck in a loop of asking how each other is, it might be a sign of a crush, with shyness getting in the way. I must confess I'm guilty of doing that once, when I was still a teenager. Story 6. Being in college and getting up at 7 a.m. to have breakfast with her when you have no classes at all that day. Edit. I despise mornings with a passion. Opinion. If you're getting up at 7 a.m. for breakfast with her, it shows you're willing to make sacrifices just to spend time with her, even if it means facing something you really don't like. Story 7. Typically only others can see it, but when they look at you every chance they get when you aren't looking, lol. Opinion. When they keep sneaking glances at you when you're not looking shows that they're shy but still interested. Their shy peeks say a lot about how they feel, even if they're trying to stay under the radar. Story 8. Longing looks and nervous conversations. Opinion. For me, those are the most common signs that someone's really into you. I think anyone who's ever been in love has done that at least once. Story 9. Giving them a drawing you did of them. Opinion. That is a heartfelt gesture that shows you deeply care about them. Unless you're bad at drawing, of course, in which case they might take it as an insult, lol. Story 10. When the group laughs, they look at you to see if you are laughing too. Opinion. When they glance at you to see if you're laughing along with the group, it shows they're really tuned into you. I remember reading somewhere that it's a clear sign of interest, kinda like looking for your approval or something. Story 11. Literally everyone as soon as I get a girlfriend. Opinion. It's funny how suddenly everyone seems interested the moment you get a girlfriend. It's like your relationship makes you a lot more attractive. I guess that's what they call pre-selection. Story 12. Drunk calling or texting. And next day call or text to apologize for the night before because they were drunk. Opinion. If they're calling or texting drunk and then apologizing the next day, It usually means you're on their mind, but they're not brave enough to call you when they're sober. They're reaching out because they care and feel bad about possibly having said something stupid with the extra courage they got from drinking. Story 13. When someone gives you stuff, for example, gum, chips from a bag, and no one else or more than anyone else. Opinion. If they're always sharing snacks with you and no one else, it's a sign they're paying extra attention to you and want to make sure you're taken care of. Story 14. Laughing the loudest at their jokes. Using their name a lot. Always looking at them and commenting and liking on every social media post you share. Opinion. I think these are all signs that they want to stay close to you and make you feel appreciated while keeping your attention. Story 15. I think I actually read this on Reddit ages ago, but after hearing a funny joke and laughing, people tend to look toward the ones they admire or feel close to gauge their reaction. It's not exclusive to crushes, but it's very telling. Opinion. People often glance at those they admire after a joke to see if they're on the same page. It's a way of sharing the moment and can reveal deeper feelings, though it's not limited to romantic interest. Story 16. I feel like a pretty good tell that I've mainly noticed in myself is when someone acts the opposite social style they usually are around a specific individual. For me, I am very shy and introverted and have social anxiety. However, if I have a crush on someone, I all of a sudden am able to start and carry on conversations, not always gracefully though, and try to talk a little louder and confidently. I laugh and smile more, whereas with other people I usually come off a little monotone and emotionless. I get more playful with a crush, and so on and so forth. I have had very loud, extroverted, boisterous friends who, upon getting a crush on someone, become the total opposite around the crush. They get meek and timid and shy and overly conscious of what they are saying and how they are saying it. It's really interesting. Opinion. I think this happens because people want to become what their crush likes, which is why their behavior changes so much. Story 17. There was a girl who worked at a cafe who had a crush on me. Sometimes when I would start heading out, she would say, "Nah, come on, stay a while longer. I'll buy you some nachos." That's pretty hard to turn down. So she would buy some nachos on employee discount and make a wonderful plate of nachos. And then we would sit and share it. Yeah, that's crush territory. Edit. I explained how things panned out underneath here. It is not a fairy tale ending, but it is a happy one. We weren't meant for each other that way. I was meant to give her the help she so desperately needed, and she was meant to teach me a lesson in the power of listening and caring about someone beyond. We both changed each other's lives for the better over the course of a few months. Opinion. Offering food to keep someone around clearly shows interest, and while it didn't end in romance, it was still meaningful in my opinion. They both grew from the experience in valuable ways. Story 18. All of a sudden, they start to want to hang out with you more and subtly touch you more than before. For example, hand on knee, elbow jab, poking, etc. Comparing hand sizes is such an easy yet overlooked method of subtle touching, but it really only works once, unless there's a staggering difference in size. You also tend to brag or talk more than you would have done before, in an attempt to gain their attention and whatnot. Or when you make random eye contact from across the room, and they look away as if it was a crime to stare, only to look at you again later. Another small but true tidbit is that the one holding the crush will smile that smile you know that means they are in love. I mean, who wouldn't smile when they're around their crush? It's almost impossible, other than when you are blushing like crazy and speechless as a fish. For whatever ungodly reason, I always tried to be near them no matter how out of place it may be. I always tried to be strategic with this and be talking with a friend or have a reason to be where I am. Logic got thrown out the window the one day he decided to sit at my lunch table, but more so to sit with our mutual friend than me. At least he knew my name. It's hard to hold a conversation during lunch when everyone's trying to jam a sandwich down their throat so that they can move on to cram for quizzes and exams last minute. Opinion. I think those are pretty clear signs of a crush. More touch, wanting to be near you, and those awkward eye contacts all point to interest. That smile you mentioned, totally a giveaway. It's pretty hard to hide genuine feelings when you are around someone you like. Story 19. Big smiles and wide eyes, glances when they think you're not looking. They look away when you see them. Sometimes smile back. They wave at you, they smile, they sometimes go out of their way to run into you. Sometimes they even follow you. And they look miserable when they don't get to see you. But when you do get to look at each other, it's like you're both reinvigorated with energy. You just yearn for the other. Opinion. I had a friend that was behaving exactly like this, minus the following part. I guess you could say that's totally a crush. Or a stalker. Story 20. I waited for this girl's train, who was my crush for an entire university year, to try and get her interested in me. I even watched as multiple trains that I could take home left, just so I could be on her platform. It took 3 months to get to talking, 6 months to get each other's socials, and 10 months to be friends who sat at university, then 12 months to talk till midnight, and later each night, nothing. So I stopped seeing and talking to her. 1 week later, she called me up and wanted to hang out. I said I had a party and she begged me to let her be my plus one. We went and hooked up after a few, and she stayed over. She's been my girlfriend for 2 years now, and we're about to move in together. I don't know what the moral of the story is, but I guess it's that trying hard gets you nowhere, or that you don't know what you got till it's gone. Opinion. I feel like this story really highlights how unpredictable relationships can be. Sometimes all that effort might not seem to pay off right away, but things can change when you least expect it. In your case, stepping back led to a surprising turn of events and a great relationship. Maybe the takeaway is that timing and persistence can be key, but also sometimes things work out in unexpected ways. Story 21. I was thrown a curveball. A girl I know out of the blue started talking to me more, sending me funny things, etc. When we hung out, she would put pics of me on her Snapchat. She started to take an interest in motorcycles, which is my passion, even though she had never been interested before. She also began to do this trust fall type of thing, where she would routinely fall all over me. She would wrestle me and constantly poke me too. I thought, okay, this girl totally has a crush on me. When I broached this subject, she acted slightly offended and denied ever liking me. I felt like a massive idiot. See why guys suck at making moves sometimes? Because a girl like that will just leave us forever questioning our judgment. Opinion. I think you might have just been dealing with mixed signals. It's pretty common to misread someone's actions, especially when they are playful and flirty, but then deny any romantic interest. It is frustrating, but I guess it's a reminder that interpreting signals can be tricky, and not every sign always means what we hope it does. It's tough, but it's all part of the process. Story 22. When a girl touches her hair a lot more than normal around someone she might be crushing, doing things like absent-minded twirls around her finger while talking to them, flipping it over her shoulder, or exposing her neck and ears might be signs of interest. Also, Look at people's feet. People may point them subconsciously at what they desire. Check if they have them pointed at a specific person constantly while in a crowd, or even towards the door. Whatever they point towards might be a clue about what they want. If the person's pupils are very dilated when you look at them in the eyes and they are sober, people's eyes will become dilated when they get that rush from looking at a crush. So if you notice their eyes flashing larger after eye contact is made, they may be interested. This is really easy to see on someone with light blue eyes, but even dark brown eyes will seem large when dilated. Opinion. I feel like those tips are pretty accurate for spotting a crush. Playing with hair, pointing feet, and dilated pupils can be telling signs. But honestly, people who are too good at reading those signals always kind of scare me. It feels like they might be overanalyzing every little detail. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and activate the bell button to receive notifications to my latest videos.